yum, get you some. Yum, yum, get you some. Yum, yum, get you some. Yum, yum, get you some.
Over that? Oh, there we are. What's up? Dano here. We're live, trying something new. So I'm with Tyler.
What's going on?
The VP of Sales at Dano's.
It's Dan Good, Dantastic. Dano might be the best Dan season you ever had.
It's been a long day. I'm live here too.
Nice. Nice.
So we're live on what? Facebook?
Yeah.
YouTube?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Twitter?
We're across platforms right now.
We are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think really what we wanted to do was just open some dialogue up with the fans. I mean, we're trying something new here, like Dan said, and we really want to just hear from you guys. I'll be kind of, fielding some comments and questions that you guys have across platforms. Our team is monitoring those. So, we don't plan on being here for an hour or two, but I think we plan on just being here long enough to really try to answer some fun questions that, make things exciting, make you guys want to watch us and tune in here and there on just more of a lifestyle type thing versus just talking about recipes and seasoning all the time. So, man, I'll tell you what, one of the first things I wanted to bring up is, golly, that Gordon Ramsay duet, man. What the heck?
Pretty cool. So
Yeah.
we got I've been trying to get a duet from Gordon Ramsay for, I don't know, a couple of years, always tagging him, making him a steak. And
He's the
this
goat,
and that
dude.
And the other. Then I made a Chub Wellington.
The Joe
And then-
Belling. You were sniffing it. Why did you sniff it?
Well, you got to make it interesting.
Yeah, hear that. Hear that.
If you're going to put a Chub in the middle of a Wellington, I guess you better make it interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, gotta
we
sniff
did that several months ago. What was it, 6 months ago or so?
Yeah.
And then we made the little Wiener Wellington, which we just posted today.
That thing's going off.
It's going. It's flying.
That thing's
So
going off.
I think this is our first time using this software, but I think, fellas, can we post? Can we show everybody the Gordon Ramsay duet?
Do it. It's coming.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Right.
Let's make the Chub
What
Wellington.
the hell is that? Oh no, stop it. Dude, what are you doing? Why are you sniffing your cylindrical sausage like that? Oh, Jesus. Where's this going, my poor Wellington? And your cylindrical sausage? What are you doing, young man? What are you doing? Okay, Jesus Christ. Lord Wellington will be turning in his grave. Look at you. Okay. Bayonne ham. Pat, pat, pat. Oh no. Oh, another squirt. Now the cylindrical sausage is sort of... Oh, Jesus, no. No. Bad rolling. Okay, egg wash. Honestly, that looks terrible. It's not even cooked. No, that
Let's
is
get a
a
bite.
disaster.
Now let me say one thing. It was actually phenomenal. It was actually like really good. Like I don't eat bologna. Like maybe
Yeah.
every once in a while, if I'm at somebody's house and they're like, "You want a bologna sandwich?" Sure.
Yeah.
whatever.
Fried bologna sandwich, absolutely.
I mean, I do get a craving for some bologna every once
fire.
in a while, but
Yeah.
that was phenomenal. It
No, dude,
seriously
I
was.
believe it. It
was
looked like it was
smoked.
awesome,
It had
yeah.
that Dano's crust, that
Yep.
flavor on there. It was awesome.
Yep.
It really was.
Yeah. No, we want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of the video? Did you think it was freaking hilarious? Obviously, that Gordon duetted it. I mean, that was like major accomplishment. I think he had a really cool like kind of beef Wellington campaign going on at the time, and just so happened that our video was featured and was really cool because I think again, man, you've been trying for that for a long time. But while we're waiting on questions to pop in on the live, again, guys, feel free to engage. That's what we're here for. Dan wants to make sure we're here for you. But the Wiener Wellington, what the heck? Where did that come from? Like, what, did that come from that video? And now it's going off on TikTok,
Well, we
obviously,
figured,
already.
he didn't like the Chub Wellington. It was actually, we made that a little while ago, but we re-edited it to make it
More fun.
more as a rebuttal to, well, you didn't like the Chub Wellington, so we'll
Wiener.
try the Wiener Wellington.
I love it, man.
Questions will be coming. They're coming in too fast.
Okay.
You can read them.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So we'll have some stuff here in a second.
Beautiful. Well, earlier I think you guys, one, if you're listening now, and if you're on Facebook, search Dano's Fanos. It's our official Facebook group of like loyalists and everybody that have really followed the brand. I mean, I've been part of Dano's Fanos for many years. Jody Ballard's one of our admins on there. We do a lot of recipe content on there. And Dan pops in and engages with everybody. So, I mean, it'll surprise you how many times Dan actually is commenting on there. There's not a lot of creators, that are really taking the time to engage and really live inside of the world of our community. And I think Fanos does a really good job. Are we watching Dan eat I just saw Dan eating a Wellington on screen and I'm concerned. But no, man, anyway, where was I? We're talking.
Well, I think we need to talk about this right here.
Okay. Cheesening.
I think that's what we need to talk about.
Because it's not just seasoning.
It's cheesening. Yeah. Look at
That's
this.
right.
It's not seasoning.
Oh,
It's
look at
seasoning.
that. Absolutely beautiful.
Seasoning.
Absolutely
There's nothing
beautiful.
like it. It's real Parmesan cheese with Italian herbs and spices and Dano's. There's nothing like it. I've made so many recipes with it now that that's not the intention the reason why I made it.
Right.
Originally, it was like, oh, sprinkle this on pasta, sprinkle this on pizza, sprinkle it on popcorn, more like a topper.
Right.
Well, then I started coating my chicken
Well,
and shrimp and doing a Parmesan
Yes.
crust, and it's phenomenal.
changer.
It's a
Right.
total game changer.
Yeah. So like I still do a lot of trade shows with Dano's, with my sales team and everything, and we go to these shows, and I called Dan and I'm like, dude, how am I supposed to demo this stuff? Like, I wouldn't put this on chicken, right? And you're like, no, man, you put that on chicken, and we did, and it was phenomenal. So it's it'll surprise you. I think cheesening will really surprise you. But I think more importantly, like where the heck did that come from? And I think the parm crusted potatoes was kind of where we really felt like this is a solid product, right?
Absolutely, because it's taking the Parmesan cheese, which this is like probably one of the most viral trends on social media right now is the parm crusted potatoes.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that I came up with that, but I did kind of make it go viral. And all it was taking Parmesan cheese and the Danos, mixing it together and making this awesome flavored Parmesan cheese, throw the butter in there, and you get that crust on there. It's phenomenal.
Stop
like
it.
There's a reason why it's super viral and everybody's making it, because
It is that good.
Now,
Absolutely.
now that's all you need.
Yeah.
Cheese
doubt.
and a little butter.
All right, we got questions rolling in. There's a ton of great ones. I'm sorry if I can't get to all of them, but one, I'm gonna butcher this name, Valanya. Is Dan related to Blake Shelton?
Yes. He's my stepbrother.
Good question, Valanya. Where can I find your other seasonings besides the green top? You want to name a couple good big retailers they can find them at?
Yeah, well, the first place you can go is the website
Yeah.
or Amazon. And you can always go to our website, find a store locator, and it'll tell you the closest store near you.
Yep.
Of course, we're in all the Walmarts, all the Krogers. We're actively going into Sam's Clubs. We're in a
Nationwide next month.
nationwide next month.
Yep.
So you can get the big bottles at the we call it the club stores. And I mean,
We
it's,
got some
it's
Costco
almost like
stores.
what stores are we not in at this point?
It's becoming like that. It's really cool, and I think
It's
that's
awesome. And the reason why is because of our Dano's Fanos. If it wasn't for you guys loving the product and
Yep.
loving what we're doing, we wouldn't be able to do it without you. And that's why we're all so passionate about what we do.
No doubt
That's
about
why we're going live today. It's why every day we wake up or you're texting me at 6 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
ready to sell.
This is what we do. We live, eat, sleep, breathe, seasoning.
Dano's. That's right. A couple other really cool retail announcements. I don't want to give away a lot of them because a lot of them are still kind of in the works. But Albertsons banner. So Albertsons Safeway is going to be bringing us on nationwide at all of their stores. It's just going to be original and spicy to start. But that's my big ask, right? Is if we've got a great viewership here today, guys, like go into their stores and buy our product, and that's how we're going to be able to expand our line. It's because you guys are going in and driving traffic to stores and buying our product off the shelf that they're willing to expand us and go in with a brand that is truly disrupting the space. I mean, we look around, right? I mean, if you look around in the seasoning aisle, who's doing what we're doing and the way we're doing it and coming out with the type of flavors that we are, marketing the way that we are, and really have the loyalty and the fan base that we do. It's because this guy right here knows how to engage the audience, how to listen to feedback and change things, and then, really how to pivot from a product development standpoint and say, how do we do things totally different than everybody else? How do we dominate and disrupt the seasoning category? I think that was our mission, a year or two ago when we really put this on a whiteboard. So, Dan, got a quick question from Daniel, another Dano. Will you come out with a Dano seasoning cookbook?
Yes, eventually, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always so busy with so many different things, and it's like, we're trying to find the time. We've kind of been building our cookbook as we make all these recipes. And so, yes, it will happen eventually, but it's not something we're currently actively working on at the moment, but it will happen eventually. I 100% promise that.
Okay. And then maybe touched on this a little earlier on another live, but can you give us a hint on what the next seasoning is going to be?
Absolutely. I can tell you it's going to be black, and it's going to be like no other black seasoning on the market. We're using real black garlic, real black salt, some other special ingredients in there.
Don't tell them what it's called yet, though.
I'm not.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling you, though, there's nothing like it. I originally came up with it because I wanted to create a steak seasoning, so that's how I came up with it. And then I tried it on some chicken wings one day, and I was like, what in the world? Like, this is the best chicken wing I've ever had in my life. It's hard to believe that. If you're a Dano's fan, it's hard to believe that you can even top the original or the spicy or the chipotle on some chicken wings. But the black is phenomenal. And then I tried it on a pork butt, phenomenal. So there's nothing yet that I have tried it on that hasn't been unbelievable. Right. And the beautiful thing about it is, like all of our products, it's a better for you product.
Yep.
It's not packed full of salt. There's zero sugar. It's real ingredients, real seasoning. Just how when I started, Dano started with original and spicy, and it was me going into my cabinet and grabbing herbs and spices, mixing it together.
Right.
And it just so happened I had this beautiful recipe, and it was like, I need to start this business with it. And then I found out that it was better for you, and it just became something more and evolved into what it is today.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I'm glad to be a part of it. There was a question about the Cajun. I want you to go ahead and just quickly touch on it. I know we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on it. Are we coming out with a Cajun?
Yes. Can't tell you when. It may be a year from now.
Yep.
But I can tell you this, I've been working on it for at least a year, and I finally approved the product yesterday. Yeah.
That really did happen. I can
It takes
confirm.
that long.
And then this is a good question from, and that was Brian, by the way. Brian, thanks for the Cajun question. Ray Sa, do you really cook your chicken thighs for an hour and a half?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question.
It is an awesome
Because it raises a lot of people are like, well, that's unnecessary. Well, you can cook them for 40 minutes at 400 degrees, and they're going to get to 165 degrees. Because technically, you just need to cook the chicken to 165 degrees to make it safe to eat. Here's the thing. When you have a bone in and a skin on, and it's a fatty cut of meat, you can cook it longer. Go watch How to Barbecue Right, Malcolm Reed. If I'm ever in question of, I got to learn from people too. That's somebody that I go and I watch his videos. If I'm trying to figure out how to do something, I go watch one of the professionals and I learn from them.
Right.
How did they learn? Well, they learned from somebody else.
Yeah.
So they will tell you, get your bone-in skin on chicken thighs, and maybe he won't. I mean, some of them like it to where they get it to 160 or 170, 180. I like to take it to 200, 205, 210 internally, and that's why I do 30 minutes for an hour and a half, because it allows the skin to get crispy.
Yep.
The skin gets totally crispy where you can eat it like a potato chip, and then the chicken literally like falls apart. It just falls off.
Right.
You're not chewing it, you're not tearing it off the bone.
Well, the big hack you taught me about that was to actually rip the skin off, take the chicken off, wrap it up in the skin.
Make it a taco.
Make a little taco.
Yeah.
So if you have a bottle of Dano's at home, all you got to do, turn it around, scan the QR code you see right there. That's our original chicken recipe, and do the same. And then when it's done, don't just eat it the way it is. Take the skin off, take the chicken off, put the chicken in the skin, wrap it up, make your little chicken taco. Fantastic, Dano and Mike.
Yum, yum, get you some.
That's absolutely right. Winner for dinner.
Hey, are we taking another question? It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, somebody asked, who is Dano's #1 fano?
Jody Ballard.
It was Jody that asked that question. And then Bobby Blackburn. When will Walmart get the crunchy? Good question. And I'm going to make sure our Walmart buyer hears that exactly. I feel like, our lights have, we had a light die in the background. But so our crunchy, it's funny. We talked about this a little while ago. It's like we branded it when we presented this to retail as Everything Bagel, and they already had a bunch of those, so it wasn't of interest to them. And so we rebranded the product. We went back to the drawing board. Dan, me, and the rest of the leadership team said, guys, what did we do wrong? And I think the one thing we did wrong was we named it something that everybody else was already naming that type of product or that kind of texture of product. So we took it a step further and said, well, what do we feel when we eat this product? Well, it's pretty simple. We felt crunchy. So we named it Crunchy and roll with it. And we've seen a lot of great results in the retail it is in. So you can grab those at a lot of regional retailers, Food City, Meijer, Hy-Vee, and a number of other retailers across. There's actually about 2,000 or 3,000 stores here in the country that are selling Crunchy right now. And of course, you can buy it on our website as well. Do you have plans to expand Dano's internationally?
Absolutely.
It's the dream.
We're trying to perfect America right now. We're trying to perfect nationally. And once we can do that perfectly, then maybe one day we are working, and we have been working for the last 3 years on getting into Canada, but it's just not that easy. Just like a lot of people think, like, why is this product not in Kroger? Why is this product not in Walmart? Why is this product not here? It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And so we have to perfect what we're doing here before we can take it there.
Well, and I think a lot of folks, there's currency exchange to take into consideration. There's distribution, the network of co-manufacturers. I think one thing that might surprise a lot of the viewers today is that we don't actually manufacture our own seasoning anymore. We actually outsource that because we became so big. We couldn't handle the volume of orders that were coming in, and so we've outsourced that to some really awesome partners that we work closely with. We talk to them almost daily at this point and make sure that our recipes and quality control is there. So kind of leads me to, and actually, well, I'll wait for that one. Dan, what is the best seasoning for a steak? This particular individual has been using Chipotle. I use original on my steaks quite a bit.
I'm in the middle. I'm spicy.
Okay.
If I had to pick one of these, like just that I'm going to use for the rest of my life, I'm going with spicy, but I will use any one of them any day, depending on what I'm cooking. We did another thing. We did the taste test when we came in with fillets.
Yeah.
Me and Brad,
Oh, that's
the
right.
cameraman, right here behind this.
Do we need to introduce Brad? Bring Brad and his
Get up there,
mustache up here.
Brad.
Get
Get up
on
there,
over here, Brad. Listen, this guy's behind the camera for billions and billions of views that have happened for the last couple of years. You may have never seen him, but here he is, cameraman Brad.
Cameraman Brad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the thing about.
Show him your mustache real quick. Sorry, Dan. we got to feature this thing, man. It is absolutely gorgeous.
There we go.
Are we here? Duh. Oh, there it is. Oh, that is a flawless stash. There it is.
Yes.
Y'all
Yeah, they got the gist. Thanks, Brad.
So Brad,
Appreciate it, man.
so here's the thing. When I did the salt and pepper versus the Dano's original, and we did it on the fillets, and we cooked it at the house, and it was just me and you, and we covered it in foil, and we came straight here, got here in like 20 minutes, and we cut it up and did everything as fair as possible, and it was seriously me and you going around. And I was nervous because I was like, nobody knows how truthful we're being about this other than me and you.
Yeah.
Like anybody else could watch the video and be like, oh, they're totally skewing that or whatever. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
And the first like 6 votes, it was 3-3.
It was scary.
And then all of a sudden, but I was like, I know the Dano's is going to win. And then all of a sudden, at the end of it, it ended up being like, it was like 21-5.
Oh, it was a landslide. Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And that was with the OG. The flavor, there's nothing like it. I'm telling y'all what. And the spicy is like the OG. It's just got a kick to it.
I do all my steaks with OG.
Was I lying about that?
Yes, hey, come on, man. Camera doesn't run itself over there. So, I think to that point, like again, I use the original on steak all the time, but I think the new black that Dano mentioned a minute ago that we're coming out with is totally meant for steaks. That was our kind of rebuttal to the naysayers of like, hey, you don't like original on steak, you don't like spice, whatever it is, you don't like what we're offering right now on steak. This is undoubtedly the option for steak, and so this we hope. I know we'll be hitting it online because that's what we try to do. We try to really release our products online to everybody, give everybody kind of a little teaser there, and then we'll lock it in with our retail partners after the fact. But you'll see this new black seasoning surface here in the next couple months.
That is a fact, but I would like to point out that Phil, the CEO of Dano's,
Yep.
this is his favorite seasoning
Yep.
on a steak, is the crunchy.
The crunchy.
So
It's just, yeah, you just don't know, but the texture is pretty cool on a steak for sure. Amber, thank you for the question on where can you buy the larger bottles of seasoning. So you can find them quite a few places. Now we are, like Dano mentioned a minute ago, we're going to be launching nationally with Sam's Club. So we'll be in almost 600 of their clubs. If you've got one nearby, they'll be grabbing product. They actually just placed the orders this morning. So we'll be seeing those roll in next month. And you'll see a huge reset on that. We'll be in the seasoning aisle at every Sam's Club that is there. Now, it's going to be the original, so it's not going to be multiple flavors. So again, still you can find those bottles, original spicy and chipotle, nationwide at Lowe's hardware stores as well. And then there's a number of different ones. Some Costco divisions have picked us up. I think Food City probably carries the 20 ounce. They were one of our early adopters. So you just got to kind of look around and find it. It's I think it's fun to find Danos in the wild. Sometimes you never know. Yeah, you never know where you're going to find Danos at. Let me see what else we've got going on. Do we have any more comments here? I think one thing's important to understand is viewership is like why does Dano's cost so much money? Do you want to kind of maybe elaborate on that? We are an expensive seasoning. We don't want to hide the fact that why that is. So why is that?
Well, number one, we're not. If you go look at other seasonings made like Dano's, a small business, they're not the manufacturer. You go look at them online, we're actually on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
We just happen to be more expensive side in retail.
Right.
And that's because we are not a large manufacturer. We are not McCormick's. We are not a billion-dollar company. We are still a small business, and we're growing, and we're trying to get there. But you really can't open up manufacturing until you're doing like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
So to us, it's impossible to do. And it's just one of those unfortunate things that, it's not that we're putting the money in our pocket, because that makes 0 sense. If we were to try and jack something up and sell it for more, why not sell it for, if I could sell it for $3 and make a 35% profit margin, I would do that.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Right.
And you have to make a 35% profit margin to run a successful business. So, all these businesses out there, they're all run the same way. It's just they have different costs.
Yeah.
This and that and the other. We have different costs that we have to inquire. And we basically just try and run a healthy business, and that's exactly what we do.
Yeah, no, and I'll kind of elaborate on that. I mean, I deal a lot on the distribution side with our retail partners too, and I think there's a lot that goes into that. And so, like, we do not set the shelf price at retail, and I want that to be very clear.
That's 100%.
Yeah, so I want that to be very clear. Is if we could set the shelf price, it would be lower than it is.
It would be the same everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be the same everywhere. But the main thing is that we have a lot of partners in that process, and when we sell Dano's to a retail partner, it goes into a lot of loving hands. I'll say that there's loving hands with our distribution partners, but it'll go to a warehouse with one person, and then maybe that distributor who's actually selling it to the retailer and being kind of the middleman for that product, they're going to be warehousing it as well. So there's just a lot of touch points in between that I think are really not thought about initially. We understand that we're a higher price point, but we promise we're always going to bring that quality, that level of quality.
100%. At the end of the day, really, like, how much money are you going to spend on Dano's in a year? Maybe $100, but all your food's going to be fantastic.
That's right. That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we really counting at that point?
Right.
Like 365 days cost you $100 to make all your food fantastic.
Dynamite.
Damn good.
Might be the best canned food you ever had. I know. I get it. We got a couple more questions that have rolled in. Will the cheesening be offered in the 20-ounce bottle? Not at the moment and not in the foreseeable future, unfortunately. Susan, thank you for the question about do we sell at Costco? We are currently active in the Northwest, the Pac Northwest, so Pacific Northwest. And then we're active here in the Midwest as well, and trying to activate divisions every day. Promise you that. What about an extra garlic flavor? What are your thoughts there?
It
Somebody
could
likes
happen.
garlic.
I mean, we've got like 5 like in line right now, so it could be something that could happen, but
Yeah,
it's not actively
in the
being sought
product.
out. Yeah.
Right. This is an awesome question, and I have an answer for it, but I know you do too. Do you have plans on teaming up with any major restaurants to use your product on their food? From Richard Bearden.
We do.
Go ahead.
Well,
I'll go
just saying
first.
we do.
We absolutely do. That's a tough channel to break into. Again, kind of being a premium ingredient. Restaurants operate on very razor thin margins, and so it's really hard for restaurants to make money. So totally understandable there. I will say, being a Louisville, Kentucky born company, that's where we're all from. We're all born and raised here. And I'm putting this on the record, Texas Roadhouse, we absolutely want to partner with you. We've talked about with it before, but if you guys could help us push that, let Texas Roadhouse know you want to see Dano's Original on their steaks or chicken. They've got an herb crusted chicken that I think Dano's could take to the next level. Let them know. That's the chain we really want to work with. They're from here in Louisville, and just a phenomenal brand. We all eat there as a company, for lunch at least once a week. So it'd be huge for us to land that account and that deal. Really cool question here is, would you let the fans help name a seasoning? And we did do a survey, right, recently?
Yeah. I guess what I've asked a few times, I know on the occasion I put it out there,
Okay.
and we got a bunch of feedback.
Yeah.
We never really settled. I know we have the Cajun approved the flavor, but we haven't settled on a name yet. We still don't know.
Is there like a particular Facebook group that people could join or to be part of that?
I think there's one where it's called Dano's
Thanos. Look it up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where all that type of information, when we ask for like, hey, take this survey, take this quiz, so where we're trying to get like data based off of what our people think. It's in Dano's Thanos.
Yep. And that group has grown from, I remember, 5-6 years ago, it was maybe less than 100 members. We're at about 140,000, I think I said this morning.
Yep.
140-something thousand.
141.
So jump on over there. Lots of great recipe ideas. A lot of folks participating and contributing to that group. But we're just happy to be in front of you today. And maybe we'll do this every now and again. Just poke in and have some fun.
And go over to the TikTok page where we just posted the Gordon Ramsay new video. And it's taken off. It's definitely going to have 1 million views.
Wiener Welling? What is it?
The little Wiener Welling.
We can play it.
And hit that subscribe and play it one more time.
No, we can play the little wiener.
Do we have the little
That's
Wiener
what I'm
Wellington?
saying. Oh,
30
well.
seconds to cue it up.
Oh man, I don't know if I can talk for another 30 seconds. Somebody did ask for any plans for a chili lime season.
You know what? They just need to go over there and watch the video.
They do. Go to TikTok, check it out. It's going off right
Hit
now.
the
We just
subscribe
posted it.
button while you're there.
Right.
And remember, we're out of here. But remember, it ain't burnt.
It's an herb crust.